Good afternoon, everyone. This is the Vermont House Committee on Commerce and Economic Development. It is Friday, May 1st, 2026 at 1:04 in the afternoon. So we're beginning our afternoon with some testimony on a Transcend Rural Career Connected Learning Grant. Who would like to go first? Rainey, you're first on my list.
Yeah,
Renee?
that's me. Yeah, I'm happy to go first. So I've got a little bit of an entry present statement, and then I will turn it over to Matt and Devin for the presentation. So,
Good.
all right. Hello, my name is Renee Sanchez, and I am the superintendent of the Rutland Northeast Supervisory Union. I'm here today with my colleagues representing our supervisory union in our high school, Otter Valley Union Middle and High School. So, gentlemen, if you could please introduce yourselves.
Hello again, I'm Devin Karpak, the tech ed instructor here.
I'm Matt Hildebrand, Supervisor, Secondary Special Ed at Otter Valley.
Thank you, gentlemen. We are here to testify regarding S313 and to share information about a recently won career workforce opportunity for our school and communities. First, I'd like to give you a little background about my experience as an educator. I've been in education for 30 years and have worked as a teacher, athletic and academic coach, college counselor, assistant principal, assistant superintendent, and now superintendent. But I'm here in my capacity as a superintendent. And I really want to talk about my 12 years of experience as a high school principal, and in particular, my time as the principal in Houston, Texas, and how that time has led me to believe that S313 would be a good thing for Otter Valley and for Vermont. While in my first year in Houston, the district received the Race to the Top CTE grant. The district and the grant gave the high school the flexibility, training, and resources for us to plan to expand our CTE and post-secondary options. My high school went from having one certificate program and no discernible pathways to 4 coherent pathways with 10 licenses and certificates, an associate's degree program for students interested in working in nearby refineries, and an authorized international baccalaureate career program. Because of my experience in Houston and my 2 superintendencies in Vermont, when I came across the Transcend Career Connected Learning cohort opportunity, I recognized that RNESU and Otter Valley would benefit tremendously from Transcend's facilitation expertise in bringing the school and the community together to develop something impactful and sustainable. S313's universal access and early exploration are the key efforts to help RNESU and its 8 towns succeed in providing quality educational opportunity for our students. Providing students with additional college and career options throughout their 15-year journey is key not only to their outcomes, but also to those of our towns. S313 will provide us with additional flexibility beyond the excellent programming available to our students that is available now through our Area 2 technical centers. We know that we can't build a technical center from the ground up just for Otter Valley students. However, we believe that we can provide CTE sequence coursework for students who may have been waitlisted, missed the deadline, were not selected, or could not attend for any other reason. One additional consideration is that we also plan to serve more of our special education students needing specialized support with their post-secondary transition plans and whose transportation to the technical center may disrupt their other much-needed services. With all of that being said, we are beyond fortunate to have been selected to Transcend's Rural Career Connected Learning cohort. While we aim to serve our students with the programming we currently have, this cohort will help us build on and improve our current programming to create a successful, sustainable, engaging, future-oriented, and collaboratively built system. Thank you. And so, is it possible for Matt and Devin to share their screen?
Yeah.
Can you guys see that?
Yeah, there we go.
Perfect.
So again, thank you so much for having us today. I'm going to take the first couple slides. Scroll up.
Yep.
So first off, we have, actually, as I said in my testimony last week, we have a lot of great opportunities for our students, but for us, we've layered on different things. As you know, you're currently Act 73 rewriting graduation requirements for a universal system. We have software and programs that we've collected. We have pathways that include early college, our CTE centers, et cetera. It's disjointed. And with that, what we're trying to do with the RC3, which is Rural Career Connected Collaborative, is to take these and create a coherent linear progression for our students where they're able to go from early in their elementary and then early into their middle school and high school careers and really come out career and career, college, and training ready. Right now, some of the key indicators that we're seeing is that we have decreased student engagement. Our graduation at the 4 and 6 year rates are lower than we'd like to see. We have mandates from the state, such as our PLPs. They're plans, but they're not really living documents. They're not a pathway into themselves. And what we're really trying to do is take all this stuff and, as I said, create a coherent system in this opportunity, and then also creating a prototype that can be used by other rural schools that look like Otter Valley throughout the state.
So as we look at education previously to what we're trying to leap towards now, before it was an industrial era learning where it was a narrow focus, there was a lot of isolation, low expectations, pretty much the teacher doing a lot of the work. But what we're striving for, and some may say we're at, but continue to improve, is this idea of extraordinary learning where the whole child is the focus. There's connections within the community, within the school, where we hold high expectations, but we're also building agency. So what is Rural Career Connected Collaborative, which is, I believe, what Devin talked about last week, briefly, and it's called RC3. It's a program where rural school communities partner with Transcend Education to design and implement CCL, Career Connected Learning Experiences, that reflect the community's strengths, unique strengths, needs, and aspirations. So with this support that we have gotten, school communities will move from an inspiration to action at both district and school levels. We see our work and we build and strive for the service of ensuring every single student have extraordinary experiences and outcomes. Our team will prioritize experience, outcome goals based on what we take away from the community and what the work that we'll do with our design team. Renee, I think you're up.
Yeah, as Matt was saying, I mean, these are the four things that we're really trying to accomplish through our work with Transcend. Is really making sure that we have a designated set of outcomes that we're all working towards, and within those outcomes are going to be the experiences that students will have, whether it's all of our students or some of our students, but they at least know what the opportunities are. And then part of that is that, that continuum of different opportunities a student may have, whether it's internships, apprenticeships, the technical centers, other forms of flexible pathways, just so long as we know what they are and we're able to keep working on them over time. And then that's now the upper right-hand corner, which is creating those conditions where the work is not just where it's never finished. It's sustainable and it's growing, and we're always trying to make it stronger by continuing the innovation. Next slide. So the work that we're doing with Transcend is that they are really acting as the facilitator to come in and really encourage the school to not just rely on the people who have been in charge of this process for a while. What they're expecting us to do is work with the administration, the counselors, the students, the teachers, community members, board members, and others, so that way we are not only we're not the only ones who are really saying that this needs to be done, that it's really expanding the number of people who are in the room so that the room actually gets smarter. So then the next piece is that not only are we going to be working from the experiences from the people who are already in that room, Transcend has many relationships with school districts across the country. And as a result, they end up bringing that outside perspective and expertise where, and we can describe later on if need be, when we were in Washington, D.C., they took us to several different models. And so we could learn from those schools and those educators directly. And then finally, is that by being an external partner, they're able to collect qualitative data for us from individuals, whether it's students or partners or others, so that that way it can help us inform the design that we're trying to achieve.
So the process was long and rigorous. We were one of 130 applicants, and I believe we were the only applicant chosen from New England. And we put together a 40+ page slide deck that was reviewed by the committee. And ultimately, it's focused on our community, the needs, what we already have in place, areas that we could grow, and basically taking everything we have and reimagining it for our students for a better and live experience. So currently
our design team, myself, Matt, Renee, and then also Jill Duty, who's a district parent, as well as our coordinator of communication. As Matt and Renee have said, we went to Washington, D.C., where we went through a design process where we literally any of our aspirational aspects, from some of them are extreme stretches, and some of them are very reasonable that we could implement tomorrow. We got all of that out on paper and have started identifying key aspects such as expanded internship opportunities and things such as that, as well as Renee had said about expanding offerings for our students who aren't able to access opportunities outside of our school at this juncture. And we are continuing this, and starting next week, we'll be expanding that planning team, inviting more of our community and more of our school into that process, so that it really is that holistic approach where we're not just operating in a vacuum and trying to be the smartest group is the room.
yes, it is. We'll probably skip a few slides here just because of time, but these are essentially the 5 pillars that we would be looking and working for. Notice the oak tree, and one of the strongest trees, especially coming from fertile and great soil needed to grow. We'll be working with conviction, clarity, capacity, coalition, culture. We'll bring in all that together so that we can build the community within this. We're going to skip this because it's kind of small for you guys to see. Devin?
And I think this is really so we talked about the overarching aspects of this design journey, but I think this really speaks to the student experience. Define pathways and career preparation supports. So what does that actually look like? We're making sure that our students are aware early on. We're expanding access to field trips and our career day, and making sure that students really see and then are able to access ways to get from their aspirations through inspiration to actually getting the skills and knowledge they need to engage in the world of work and as members of the community. Our community is fantastic. There's primary industry here that is some of the best in the state, and we're trying to make sure that our students are aware that there is a vital community that they can be a part of. And the best way to do that is to get them out there and making sure we're doing it in a safe and reasonable way that actually not only connects from where they are now, but to where they're going. So it's not internships of convenience, but internships of very robust internships. So taking what we have now and going from there. And then the additional part of this is not only what does it look like for our students, but what are the actual programs that we have and how can we develop those further from our community-based education, as I alluded to, making sure that there are two school districts within a supervisory union. So making sure that all of those students have the ability to access some of these things. We're making sure that we already have an advisory model. So instead of throwing things out, we're trying to improve them and change things in a positive manner so that we're respecting the work that has already been done, but also making it as robust as possible.
And we're trying to make sure that we create the accessibility for every single student, whether the student is on an IEP, a 504, or just in the general ed population. Every student to us is very important. We want to make sure that they're afforded the opportunities. So essentially, why are we doing this now? We recognize that college is expensive and at this time less predictable. We have rising tuition costs for students and families to explore the return of their investment of a traditional four-year collegial path. Students need more than one singular pathway. Today's economy demands entry points within careers, trades, credentials, military, college, not just your typical and what we may have gone through with a default mode. Workforce demands are definitely shifting every single day, and we're recognizing that. Local economies need local talent. Recently, we just gave this presentation to one of our school boards, and they mentioned that one of our capstone ideas could be implemented now. And unfortunately, it's not that easy because it's just not. But they would love to see this stuff in action and helping the community. Engagement for students, as Devin alluded to last week, is difficult. And we want to make sure that they want to come to school, and we can kind of curtail this absenteeism and hopefully building that so they do want to come to school. They want to enjoy the programs that are in front of them. So essentially our next steps are, we have Transcend coming next week to view what we're doing, meet with our staff, and potentially do a mini sprint, which is what we did in DC.
Great. Questions? Edie?
Thank you. I apologize that I was eating my lunch at the beginning of the presentation. I had too many meetings over lunch hour
So
today,
we get it. Time is of the essence.
and hangry is not. So, I just wanted, so this is the first year that
Yes.
that you have, so implementation, when do you expect it to be fully implemented?
That's an excellent question.
So I think reasonably, like I think reasonably there will be the two major things that we're going to focus on for this following school year is looking at implementing School Links, which I think we possibly touched on last week, which is a management platform that would allow us to bring together our many of the different things from assessments for students to see what they're interested in, so they can then start exploring different careers at our career day, individually as part of different classes. And then I think the other one is continued support for our work-based learning or community-based learning program, and ensuring that we're starting to really build like we have good relationships. There's no one would argue that point, but I think one of the things that really stuck with me from our DC experience was the sheer fact that if someone didn't fill one of the internships from the school that I went to, they noticed. And I think that is a key takeaway: is our students have value, they're intelligent, they're capable, but we haven't figured out how to, in our region at least, how to dovetail that talent and that ability with positions that are filled by the next smart kid, the next one every year. Because I may have mentioned this previously, this is one of my favorite things, is that like a group of high school students can fix a problem that is the 10th thing on a CEO's to-do list. Period.
Okay.
Sorry.
Good one. So we're trying to, this is a 15-month grant. It's not going to end after 15 months, but the work that we do within those 15 months is going to be crucial for us. We've already developed, like Devin's career day is huge. It's massive for the community, school community. This year, recently, I developed what we call the Pathways of Possibility, which was a night for students on IEPs and 504s in the state of Vermont and nationally. They have transition plans from 14 years and up. And I brought outside providers in for families to come and meet, because a lot of these families don't understand what is afforded to them through an IEP or a 504. And just to coincide with the transition and make sure students understand that they have all these things, and we want to develop them so that they're college ready, they're workforce ready, whatever their aspirations may be.
So I guess what I was trying to get to is this the kind of thing that will be in place well enough soon to be a model for other parts of the state? And that's really, I guess, maybe I should have asked it as a fuller question.
Sorry.
No, so I guess what would your definition of soon be?
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, I guess what I'm thinking about is, we know flexible pathways has been, implemented at best inconsistently across the state. And if we can have models of how it could work, how it should work, how do we, use that to make it better across the whole state? Maybe that's the question I should be asking.
So I can take that one. I think realistically, our model on paper will be very much fairly developed by the end of the summer. As far as implementation, tweaking, refining, we're talking about a year from probably August. That being said, one of the conveniences and inconveniences simultaneously of any school calendar is we live one course catalog to the next. And that starts development in December of each year. So we need to be able to sign kids up for the things that we build. So realistically, we're looking at this year figuring out trying trying things in existing programs, developing any course or catalog changes for the following year. So we're talking minimal changes at the classroom course level this coming year, larger changes the following, full implementation 3 school years out. I would say.
Yeah, and it takes time and a lot of tweaking. Every school year you're tweaking something, and this is something that's on our to-do list.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Questions? Great. Thank you for filling us in on what's going on, and if you can keep us in the loop of how this is all going and how it progresses, that would be really helpful.
Yeah, we would love that.
And I would say my one pitch is, as you continue your work, keep us in mind as well. Because we are very much an organization that wants to be a partner with the world, with our state, with our legislators, because like it's a two-way street. So making sure that road of communication is open. So if there's something that you are like, hey, this is something we'd like to try, it might already be on our work list. And we can help and collaborate and figure those things out.
Is Advance Vermont a partner in what you're trying to do?
Not at this juncture, but I think we'll be reaching out to them. If you have a primary contact, that would be fantastic.
Yeah, I can share that, Devin.
Yeah, that would be great.
Excellent.
They're also trying to do what you're trying to do.
Yeah.
Not through any specific school.
And what we've also been doing, like we had initial conversations with Kevin Chu at Vermont Futures. We have had conversations with McClure. Nothing substantial, like basically the same presentation, but just where the people who are all like, we all want this state to be the best it can be. And our kids are, like, to be super cliche at this point, our kids are our future, and we want to give them the best that we can. So like we know that there are a lot of people pulling on this and trying to advance this work. So we just want to be a partner in that, and we have the kids.
We're with you on that.
Well, we thank you for your time.
Thank you for yours as well.
Great seeing you all.
Enjoy your weekend.
Thank you, you too. Our next presenter is not on until 2. So I think we can